if you're into Leafs and you kind of follow along with all of the Leaf stuff, then you've probably seen these pictures. They've been on Car and Driver and a number of places like that. But it's a camoed Nissan Leaf. Man, it's been a crazy weekend and beginning of the week here. What with the holiday and not having anybody to watch the kid and just life, and things have been nuts. But I did want to take a couple minutes today and talk about these photos that have come out of what is expected to be the 2018 Nissan Leaf. So if you're into Leafs and you kind of follow along with all of the Leaf stuff, then you've probably seen these pictures. They've been on Car and Driver and a number of places like that. But it's a camoed Nissan Leaf being tested out in public. And the design is totally different. It looks totally different. Some of the body shape is the same. But essentially, the main differences are the headlights and the taillights are different. Some people comparing them to a Nissan concept car that has sort of the horizontal headlights and taillights compared to the vertical ones that the current Leaf has. Beyond that, just some body changes, some real basic design changes that are interesting. It looks like the back of the car is going to get a little more headroom. The front of the car is going to stay about the same. Still going to maintain the hatch. But so here's the questions that it raises for me. And I think the obvious question when it comes to the Leaf is, what's the range going to be? With the Bolt happening and, getting closer and closer to the Tesla 3 hitting, at least becoming more public beyond what it is now. But, I think, we're still probably a year away from regularly seeing Tesla 3s on the road. The Bolt and the next model of Leaf have a real opportunity to capture some market. So my hope for the 2018 Leaf, based on some pictures, would be this. With that body change, my thought is that there's a chance that the battery is going to be different. My expectation is that it's going to have a 60 kilowatt hour battery, which I think is the important one. It's going to have to compete with the Bolt. I think the magic number for me would be 200 miles. If I could drive a Leaf 200 miles, I think that would be the perfect number in terms of what I would want out of a Leaf long term. After driving this car for 2 months now, and now somewhat regularly switching back and forth between my wife's Accord and the Leaf, I think the insight I have is a little different than it would have been even a month ago when I released the 1 month in the Leaf video. I think that for the Leaf to be competitive and for what I imagine my future needs to be, I need that 200 miles. I think that's the number where it gets interesting for me. I think the Bolt is going to be there. I mean, we know it's going to be there. I don't think there's any question that the Tesla is going to be there. So the question becomes, if Nissan wants to compete, if they want to be a part of this conversation, they're going to have to hit 200 miles. In terms of what I really like about that new design, I love those headlights and those taillights. You can kind of see the hint of a stubby antenna, which I'm sure modern car washes will appreciate. there's just a lot going on in that picture that I really like. I do like the way it looks on the ground. I hate the wheels. I cannot wait to see what the actual wheels look like. That's another one. If Nissan is going to position the new Leaf, the 2018 Leaf, in the same category as the Bolt, and trying to get ahead of the Tesla 3, then we need those top level features. We need the great wheels. We need the great sound. We need to know that running the sound as well as climate control isn't going to wreck the battery life for the day. You know, in general, I'm doing like 40 miles a day in the Leaf. The reason I say 200 is because I would love that flexibility to road trip in the Leaf a little farther, to overnight somewhere in the Leaf and not have to worry about charging, to avoid public charging stations unless absolutely necessary. I think those are the things that I would be looking for. I think the Bolt's gonna accomplish all those, and I think that the Leaf needs to keep up for sure. I do think it's interesting that the one thing I think about a lot in this car is sort of the more luxury features. The seat heaters work great, the steering wheel heater works great. So how do you improve on that going forward? Other than making it more efficient, which it's already pretty efficient in terms of the battery. So I think that I'm looking for better interiors overall. I'm looking for a better looking console, a redesigned interior package, better wheels, better tires. I think that a big issue that they could address is also weight. If you can lower the overall weight of the car, that's going to improve the battery life no matter what. So I think that getting the weight down is going to be a big factor. Overall, though, I think that design looks really nice. I can't wait to see it with the camo off. I'm hoping for some more interesting paint options. But, you know, let's be real, it's a Nissan. It's going to look like a Nissan. I do think that there is probably a market for a more attractive, a designier Nissan Leaf. I think people would be into that, especially the crowd that tends to be into Leafs. As I go back and forth looking at different window tintings and wrap options, I think that the option of having a better looking design overall is one that would really play well with a lot of people. So love the design overall. Can't wait to see what it looks like. Can't wait to hear about the specs of it for sure. Like I said, if you could get me to 200 miles, give me some more interesting features that it doesn't already have, make everything more efficient, lower the weight, I'm gonna be on board. In the meantime, I'm still thinking that Bolt looks pretty nice, and obviously, wanting a Tesla is just beyond obvious. Everybody wants a Tesla, right? Things are going super well around here. Business is going well. Got some exciting things coming up to share in the videos about some things I'm working on. Yeah, life's been pretty okay for a little while. Doing good. Hope you guys are doing good. Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up, and we're going to cover a lot of ground here. So thanks to everyone who has subscribed. Thank you for subscribing right now. And